All right, guys, here we are. Let's do our thing. Make sure we do some of our administrative work here. Just making sure that we are live on all the right platforms. Because Facebook is weird. So hello, Facebook land and YouTube. Woo-hoo. All right. Well, hi. It is another Thursday night. It feels like we were just here like yesterday, and a week has already gone by. And what a week it has been. So many different things that have just, I don't know, like we had days off of school. So I had my kids at home. And then, of course, that means that we were working from home. And then we've had like the spring real estate market is doing its thing. So we've been really busy. So anyways, we're going to talk about all of that. But as you're joining us tonight, do the thing. Let us know in the comments, where are you watching from? Would love to know that just because it helps us like, hey, you're moving from Arizona. Well, somebody else might be moving from Arizona. You're moving from, I don't know, Michigan. Somebody else is moving from Michigan. But we go ahead and we love to know, well, I love to know who's watching, and we answer your questions live. So we've got some fun things, not too many crazy things, some local stuff, some information just about things that are coming soon. I know you guys are planning trips and everything like that. So that's what we're doing here tonight. So as you are joining us, just go ahead again, say hi, hello, and we will kind of get into it. So be thinking of your questions tonight. If you have any, awesome. If not, then you just get to talk to me, I guess. So, or I get to talk. Here we go. So sitting down, glass of wine. Here we are. Let's do this. All right, go over to the comments, see who we got. Hey, John, how's it going? Oh, man. Snowy in Jamesburg, New Jersey. Yeah, we're going to talk about the snow tonight because Greenville and snow, it's been lovely. Honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah. Bones! Hey, let's see here. Hey, aren't you Bones? Aren't you in Georgia? Right? Yeah. Did you get walloped by the storm that we had? That came through what, like yesterday, 2 days ago? Anyways, let's see here. Eric, hey, my friend, how's it going out in Spartanburg? Let's see here. And okay. Ooh, John, starting me off with a question already. Look at that. My goodness. What are the top 3 reasons to look at Greer? Oh my word. Okay. So in order to do that, we have to, of course, let's go over here to the map. And we're going to start tonight with that question. And we'll do that. So, oh man, Augusta, not even an inch. That's not enough. Sorry, not even enough. I agree with you. Yes. All right, so let's look at the map really fast. We're going to start here and answer John's question, which I think is a great place to start us because we are going to look at the MLS map, which I think is so much more fun to look at than the Google Maps map, just because I can look up real estate on this really easy. And we're not mapping directions. So anyways, the question here was top 3 reasons to look in the Greer area. So here's the fun thing. We're going to draw a box. So Greer actually runs all the way out here. See, right here is Lake Robinson. And then it goes here, and then like down over here, across 85 to about here, and almost over here into Reedville, which I think is fun. And up here into Spartanburg County, right outside of Lake Lyman. Basically, that's Greer. And what it's pulling right now is we're just going to pull active properties. in our we're going to go 3 to 500,000 this time. So 100 properties are active over there. Ooh, fun. Okay, so in the map, here's where I want to start, because Greer is this fun place that you can live up here closer to the mountains, and you're going to have beautiful mountain views off of Highway 14, Highway 11 up here. And then you've got some major roads, some major thoroughfares where it's easier to get places. So you've got Highway 14 that runs all the way from here. And if you watch this, Greer actually runs on either side all the way down Highway 14 until you hit I-85. So that's one, is living in Greer. It's pretty easy to get places, and you can be at a lake, you can be in the mountains, and you can also get to your main highways, which means you're going to be able to get to the airport pretty easy. You're going to be able to shoot down to like Columbia if you have to, or up to Charlotte. Just makes it easier. So that's number one. Number two, let's see here. Another reason for Greer that I can come up with. It's got according to, we're going to caveat this. According to greatschools.org, it has some really good school districts. Now, I know that you guys don't have kids. It's fine. But this is why school districts are important, even whenever you don't have kids in school. Good school districts mean that usually those areas are safe. They have good housing options. They all a variety of housing options, and then also they keep their value. So that's something where I do know that the Greer school districts, according to the websites and clients that have told me, it's got some pretty good school districts. So we follow those things because real estate's not just about where we're like, I know primary residence, yes. And it's an investment. So if you ever are looking into, say, renting out the property, or maybe, whenever we are long gone and our family takes over our house, if we still own it, it could be rented out. It's a good investment. So it's going to keep its value. It's going to increase in value. That's what I've seen happen in the Greer area. Then there's other things that I think are really cool to know. One, being near a small lake, so Lake Robinson is nice. And then there's things to do. So Trade Street is Greer's downtown, which I thoroughly enjoy. There's several really nice restaurants that have popped up over the last, I would say, 2 to 3 years. Totally worth it. And just has that nice small town feel. So love that part as well. And again, you're not too far from anything. You are at most 20, 25 minutes outside of downtown Greenville. But then at the same time, Greer is located half in Greenville County and half in Spartanburg County. You've got to be a little careful. I'm going to give you a small con as well to Greer. You've got to be careful that you don't end up in Greenville County and Greer city limits. So Greer City, you would think, is right here in the middle where this crossroads is. And you can tell as you get closer in here. Greer city limits, though, run all the way out here as well. So pay attention to stuff like that. All right. So with that, I hope that answered your question. I enjoy talking about that stuff. So thanks for asking. All right. So let's go in here. See if anybody else has joined us tonight. Hello out in Easley. John, I know you love the maps. Eric, yes, staying warm. So that is a perfect segue into, okay, like we've got some stuff to talk about tonight. Basically, it's been really cold and we are constantly looking for like, okay, what's the weather like in South Carolina? So before I do that though, I forgot to check something before we got on tonight. because I like to talk about our monthly statistics. And let's see here. Yes, they updated. Okay, so we're gonna do this. All right, December numbers are out. And what happened in December? So as of December 10th, these weren't updated last stream. So here we go. Up 16%. That units number is important for everybody to know. We're going to zoom in on it here. So up 16%, that just means that there's more inventory sitting on the market. That's a good thing for you guys that are looking to buy a house, not so great thing for y'all that are looking to sell a house. And the thing to know about that is if you're looking to buy a house, one, it means either more new construction is actually making it into the MLS. Builders don't like to put all of their stuff in the multiple listing service, but it also means that we have more resales. And here's what I've been hearing about that as well. We've got more people that are coming off the fence. They're coming off of their 2-3% interest rates because of life, because things are happening, changes. Yeah, and it's time to do that, which is putting more inventory back on the market, which we have needed. Volume numbers were up 19%. So guys, if you're watching this video and you're like, Aubree, my house has been on the market since before Christmas and it's sat on the market September, October, November, December. These numbers tell us why. We're going to go skip on over here to this average days on market for actives. And then also looking at this solds number. Look at this. It's up 5 to 6.5%. That's pretty interesting. We've also seen a decrease in average price, which means housing prices. Now, 1%, that's not terrible. That correlates to somewhere between $10,000 to $20,000 in most price points. So just to tell you like a dollar amount, what happens there. So just again, watching all of these numbers, but wow, look at this. Over 2023, 2024 numbers here, we were up 10% of volume. That means prices went up. That means more houses were sold. We've got this number too. And I think this will hold steady throughout the month of December. We'll see that we sold about 6 to 7% more houses in 2024. And that then also they were more expensive. There were higher prices than in 2023. And man, I'm so excited about these numbers because it's just one of these, like, this is what we pull and we look at every month. So I'm excited to talk to you guys. Let's see here. I won't get to talk to you next week. So just so you know, won't be live next week. We've got a dinner with my brokerage. So, but we are having a market mastermind tomorrow that I'm going to, and it is a in-depth look with some very respected real estate professionals in my world and the just the southern real estate markets. So we're looking at that. I've also been doing a lot of research and paying attention to what other people are saying, such as there's this podcast I listened to called Dish and Dirt with Gary Pickering, and he's an attorney with Blair Cato. I would highly recommend listening to his podcast. One, it's informative. Two, it is entertaining. And three, it helps us know, like, hey, what's actually going on here? So let's see here if I can just show it to you really fast. I've been talking a lot about this podcast recently because I've been listening to it. Here. Let's share my screen just so you can see it. And this podcast, if you want to know about the real estate market, is what I recommend everybody go and listen into this. Today, he did his top 10 predictions for changes in the real estate market for this year. Then top stories. And it's very insightful as far as, okay, what is coming soon? What are we as real estate agents dealing with? And so we've got people that are looking at getting into the real estate career field, but you guys are making huge investments. So we watch it really closely. I think it's important to watch and to see, okay, overall, what is happening. So all of this to say that I really do think that the real estate market here in Greenville is going to continue to thrive this year. It is definitely not going to slow down. So I mentioned this week or two ago that we have seen a significant increase of just people wanting to talk about buying and selling. Between today and Saturday, I have 5 new appointments with buyers and sellers about talking about, okay, what's going on here? Like, are we doing this year? And we've got people that moved here a couple of months ago. They're like, you know what? We moved here to Simpsonville and we actually want to live closer to downtown. Or I've got somebody who lives in Travelers Rest that actually does life over in Simpsonville. And so they're making that move. And so one, we know about houses that are not on the market yet. And that is cool. So if you are looking, maybe you should reach out and chat with us about that because the team would love to help you. And then at the same time too, it kind of, I don't know, like it makes a lot of people feel better that, when you move here, it's okay. Like we want to help you make the best decision on where you land. And my goal, I haven't had a client yet tell me they don't like where they live because we do pay attention to that. And these conversations are really important. So, whenever you are watching here or you are, watching, I don't know, just our regular videos, that's something we pay attention to. So anyways, talked about the numbers. We've got people that are making moves. It is getting busier and it's exciting. I love it. So anyways, if you're watching tonight and you are just joining us, go in the comments if you can. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe because we do this all the time. And I have usually a glass of wine, maybe a glass of water or something. I don't know. But tonight's glass of wine because did a repair request. I've got so many cool plans for this year as we are going through and planning out these live streams. So let me know in the comments if you want to talk to somebody specific. So I've already got a lender scheduled to come up and talk to us about interest rates again, what we think is going to be happening, and then also how do we compete with builders here in the area whenever it comes to mortgages and interest rates. Then at the same time too, we are, I already have an inspector here in South Carolina who he's got out of the 14,500 sales that were done here in the Upstate, he did 4,000 of those inspections. So he knows what's going on. And so he's going to be joining us this year. We've already talked about it, and then also have an attorney who has agreed to come talk to us as just questions about real estate and getting other viewpoints. So, all right, I see you guys chatting over there in the comments. Let's go see what's going on. Oh my goodness, Rochester, New York. Ooh, that is cold, my friend. So cold. All right, John, let's see here what you got. In your video this past weekend, the first of the 2 houses with the creek you showed had a basement with a garage door in the backyard. Is this common in the Upstate? That is a fantastic question. So to answer you, I do find if the house has a basement, that is very common. Okay. And I've talked about this in the past. And for you guys that are kind of newer to the videos or even our live stream here, South Carolina or just the upstate doesn't really have basements. It's not a thing here. Our ground is very, very hard. And basically it's all red clay. So digging down into that is not the easiest thing in the world. And you also run into a lot of boulders, so on and so forth. So my first house actually was the business in the front, party in the back style of house. The basement will always be a walkout basement here in the upstate. There's really not, I've never seen the type of house my husband grew up in. He's from Berwick, Pennsylvania, and his parents own a home that has a true basement that has no walkout. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you guys haven't seen the video that we put up on Sunday, you should go watch it to see what John's talking about. All right, Bones, let's see what you got going on here. What was up? Yep. And I think that was indicative of the era. Correct. So we're talking about the same house. That was in Taylor's, and that entire neighborhood, now that I'm thinking of it, has several houses like that. They are brick ranches. They were built in the 70s. And that was my first house that I ever purchased as well, was that brick ranch with the full basement. When you finish the basement, they end up being between 2,000 to 3,000 square feet. They are big houses. They just, I don't know, not too many people not too many builders build houses like that anymore. All right, let's keep going here. Oh, gross, Paul. It was 29 today. Oh, geez. And that's warm after single digits. Good golly. Well, hey, Paul, whenever it's time, let me know. I would love to help you out here. Though I will say it's been very cold here as well. Yesterday and today, I don't think it got above freezing. So very, very cold. All right. So with that, let's talk about those snow days that happened here in the upstate. And I think it's hilarious. Let's see here. How do we want to do that? Let's do this one. Okay, so this one right here, frozen over snow flurries have turned Greenville roads to ice. Most schools are closed. Well, yeah, most schools are closed. So here's the deal. This article, and yes, the fountain downtown, there's multiple fountains downtown that look just like this. And we've had 2 winter weather events in the last, week and a half, 2 weeks, where we are not used to that here. And it blows my mind. I grew up in Southern Illinois, and I can truthfully say I walked uphill and the snow both ways to get to the bus stop. And it with like snow that was at least, inch and a half, a foot and a half, 2 foot tall, and in single digits or below or negative numbers. And we never canceled school here. And because I've got kids that are younger and still in school, they cancel school around here for this stuff. So we didn't have school yesterday. And then we also didn't have school, was it last week, beginning of the week? It was something like that. And I think we were already out, which was okay. But with Greenville, snow is just something, it happens. I think we may actually see it 3 times this winter. Shock. But it never stays around. And it's something that the biggest thing that we have to watch out for is ice. And that is actually why they end up canceling things like work. People's work will just shut down for the day, or they'll do a work from home. Schools around here shut down for the day, or they do a big 2-hour delay. And it's fun to kind of watch it because like here we've got snow day, roads getting icy, slick, Interstate 85. So the winter event that we had this week, goodness, it went more south of us, which almost never happens. Usually the northern part of Greenville County gets let's go over here, and the map that we looked at earlier. So usually the snow ends up here. So here's 85. And usually snow just stays up here in this area. But this winter weather event actually dipped lower and caught parts of Simpsonville and Fountain Inn down here. And it created a lot of ice on the road. So it was not safe to drive. And honestly, we got out and about. It was fine. No issues. Should we have canceled school? Yeah, I don't know. It's the whole thing. But here's the thing. And also what, again, we saw, here's another event. Here's another one right here. State works to keep South Carolina roads clear after winter storm. So I thought this was funny. I saw it says we have 4,000 team members that are dedicated to keeping South Carolina moving. And I think we really have a team. Here we go. Where was I? A team that will help keep everything up and going within the next 24 hours. So I saw a picture earlier that it literally had 2 snow trucks. That was it. And then I saw I don't know if it was a meme or something, but it was somebody in Charleston, just this man sitting on the back of a truck taking salt and just doing this with it out on the roads. It looked completely serious. I don't know. But here's the deal. In the South, we don't do snow. We don't do ice. Stay home. So for you guys that are relocating from other parts of the country where you are used to snow or these colder temperatures, that's half the reason why people move here is we don't have that type of weather. So, my friends up there in New York, come get your weather. It's in my front yard. So, it's fine. It's fine. I love seeing it. I love that we get a chance to take the kids outside and sled, and then the next day it's gone. So here's why this was. Paul, I'll take the snow plows. Come on. Here is why this was such a big deal though this year. And let me do this. All right, we're going to do it this way. Officials warn of a possible icy roads after Spartanburg sees second snow in 10 days after a 3-year drought. Well, that was for the entire upstate. And I think I saw the end all be all. It was over 1,000 days. So it was about 3 years since we have seen snow. And this year we are getting it. So anyways, I thought that was great, and it's fun to see it every so often, but it is true. It goes away in about 24 hours. We usually don't have to worry too much about it. All right, let's see here. Keep going. And let's just talk about some of the stuff that's coming soon here in the area, some different things that you should look out for and whenever you are planning your trip. So doing this. All right. Hello, my friend. Relocating here from Daytona Beach, Florida to Greenville. Love it. Lots of Floridians coming to the area. So let's see here. You've moved to Florida and then you're coming halfway back. So half back. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about, okay, what are we doing here in the Greenville area or things of note? So I think this is something that's interesting to note here is when you're coming into town, just Greenville does Southern things. All right. So here's one of those. And if you're around town and you see this, that's what's going on this weekend. So January 23rd through the 26th is the Upstate South Carolina Boat Show here in Greenville. It is the 55th time that this show has been here, and you see boats everywhere. It's something my husband loves to go and window shop. He can't buy anything yet, but living here in the upstate, it is worth it to, I don't know, we have so many lakes nearby that you can kind of justify the boat. So I think that's why they put it here. Also, in the spring, summertime, they have the Bassmaster Classic, which is held at Lake Hartwell. So there's a huge fishing, boating community here in the upstate. So I think something like this is, it's kind of, it's appropriate for the area. So we'll say that. So, oh, there you go. Hey, Teresa, how's it going? You know, these names, sometimes I see your name here on YouTube and sometimes I don't. So, all right, next thing here to talk about, and I think this is interesting enough to talk about more so than normal. So this is from Greenville City's Instagram page. And if you don't follow City of Greenville SC yet, you should, because one, there's good information here. You can kind of stay up to date with what's going on. They also, their page is fun to follow. Their community works people are silly and fun and just gives you a good idea of this area. And then, so anyways, I saw this and I was like, well, what's this? Like, this is a picture of the Greenville downtown airport, not to be confused with GSP. So the Greenville downtown airport is a pretty busy general airport. Okay. There's a lot of private planes that fly out from the downtown airport. There's also a lot of jobs that it has, and just a lot of impact. So anyways, wanted to bring this back around. We talked about this back in September, but Greenville County actually approved the skate park and pump track over next to the airport here. And you can kind of see it. Oh, no, this is from the other angle. So this is looking out towards like the Taylor's area. That's what's out here in this picture. But over here next to the airport is where they're putting this skate park. Now, here's the thing. And I thought this was interesting just reading this, is that one, they have jobs available out here. So the airport commission is hiring, and what they're doing is they are looking for people to help maintain the landing fields, safety operations, and the adding of amenities to the area. So thought that was pretty interesting and good to know about, just like, hey, like what's coming soon, what's here. Let's talk about it. So, all right. Now, see a question over here, and I actually have the answer, or at least a really good resource, and I'll put it in the comments here for you. So, Corey, you put here that you're planning on taking a trip to the upstate in the next week or two. Are there any hotels that are in a better location to walk around and see a lot? So, here is my recommendation to you. Okay. For anybody who is making a trip here, if this is your first time, even your second or third time, because here's what happens. Once you move here and you live here, not too many people live downtown Greenville. And usually once you live here, you are going downtown for entertainment. You're going down there to go to a restaurant, a show, maybe to go walk around and get some ice cream and spill the beans. I don't know. But I would recommend staying downtown. Now I'm going to share this. Let's see here. I'm going to put this link over here in the comments for you, just so that If you want to pull this up later, you can. All right. So TripAdvisor. Now, everybody knows TripAdvisor, okay? It's a pretty well-known website whenever, people are planning, okay, hey, we're going to make the trip. All right. So this goes through, and I noticed this one, it's going to pull up several different things for you to do while you are here. That's also the next thing we're going to look at. But this is something I noticed. So it has a lot of these, just a really good list of hotels that are close to downtown Greenville that I would definitely recommend. You know what? I don't want to check the dates. Come on. All right. So Home 2, the Westin is a historic hotel that I think you should definitely look into. The Hyatt downtown is also very nice. A lot of people stay there. Hampton Inn. I've actually stayed there at the Hampton Inn at River Place. That's a good hotel to stay in. Everything there is walkable, which I think is great. Hyatt is going to put you on one side of Main Street. It's going to be really easy. The Embassy Suites, again, that puts you in the middle of downtown. Definitely worth it. The Courtyard Marriott downtown, again, middle of downtown. For your first trips here, I would say definitely check through that. And see Michael over here putting comments in as he is moderating. So here's the thing, what I can tell you about these. The historic hotels have a lot of things that you should look in. It's not just a great place to stay. One, it's got a great location, but there's stories about, okay, are these hotels haunted? So if you're into that type of thing, it's fun. All right, so let's look at the next thing here, and then we'll just go into pure like Q&A, what you guys want to know. So be thinking, if you've got questions, put them in the comments, because that's where I'm getting ready to dive. All right, so you're planning your trip. What else? And I get this a lot too. I've recently had some clients come in for a week, and they were here right as it was getting ready to snow. They were like, what is there to do? Because here's the deal. You can't spend the entire time just driving around, or well, you can, but or you you're here and you're like, well, what is there to do in the evenings? Where do I go? What do I do? Everything like that. So another good website is visitgreenvillesc.com. And this website has all sorts of events, food and drink, things to do, so on. I'm just on their events page. And what you can do is go in here, and all of the events that are happening in and around Greenville, even the stuff that, like, one, you should definitely check out an Alchemy comedy show. They are hilarious. And it's cheap. So Alchemy is actually, sorry, I completely squirreled. Alchemy is located downstairs under Main Street with Coffee Underground. So if you come to Greenville and you're like, well, what do I do? And I'm downtown, you should at least go get breakfast at Coffee Underground, but show up that night at the comedy club there called Alchemy. It's great. You won't be disappointed. They are hilarious. So anyways, I thought this was really good to see, like, hey, you're here. What are you doing? Where do you go? Go meet some people. If there's anything that we've said over and over and over, is people in Greenville are really nice, and a lot of them have no problems talking. So they're kind. People in Greenville are kind. It's becoming more and more of a melting pot because, well, if you want to be somewhere where people are nice and like to talk to people, then somebody else is the same. So it's actually not too hard to get around people that just are fine having a friendly conversation. And maybe that's some of the Southern charm. I'm not sure. But this website gives you a lot of different things, lots of things to do, and it will keep you busy, which is great. So it also helps you figure out where everything is. So there's also a part of this website that has a map right here, and it'll help you get around. So one of the things that also that I do like to give you guys as we kind of go into this Q&A time, if you know you are going to be relocating anytime to Greenville, where you're like, you know what, there's so much I can see online, but hey, I actually want to see more. So I am a true millennial and I love paper still. So there's so much you can look at online, but if the team has not mailed you our relocation packet, reach out to us, please. You can go to our contact page on our website at the aubreelewisgroup.com. And we would love to send you a relocation packet. It's got magazines, it's got swag, it has maps, it has things that I don't know, it's just fun to be able to sit and flip through. So let us know your address because I'd love to drop that in the mail to you. And of course, it's free. All right, so here we go. Let's go over to the comments. Let's see what questions we've got for tonight. All right. Bones, you got a question for me tonight. May consider renting around Greenville, an apartment or home, for 6 months to either decide about Greenville or use it as a launching pad to explore other areas along the Upstate. Okay, so I think this is a great question because a lot of people also look into doing this, and they're like, well, do we come into the town and do we come into Greenville and do we buy a house immediately or what? So here's my suggestion is, okay, I've got 2 suggestions for you. If you feel comfortable that you'll be able to find something probably in 3 to 6 months, I would say look at renting maybe a long-term Airbnb or a VRBO, something like that. Just because I find a lot of people that we help relocate here, and I helped a few people, helped somebody at the beginning of 2024. They did this. They came into town, signed a 1-year lease on a house, or I think they were in a townhome, and they ended up about 6 months in, they contacted me and they said, hey, Aubree, we're going to be ready to hit the ground running after Christmas. Will you help us? We are looking. And so we started that conversation about 4 months before they were really ready to pull the trigger. It was about 5 to 6 months before their lease was up. And we started looking, and they knew what they wanted, and it wasn't rushed. They knew the area. They knew what they liked, didn't like, and then also what was important. So they also were able to establish like doctors that they went to see, places they like to shop. If they go to church, they knew, okay, well, we go to church over here and we want to stay in this general area. So I think that if you're going to do this, like coming into rent, either a long-term Airbnb for 3 to 6 months or something that's just month to month, or I think 3 to 6 months is plenty of time to decide where in the area you do life, and to see if this is where you want to really land. Or we do have a fair amount of people that come in and do a full 1-year lease, and then we start working with them about 6 months into their lease and we go out and buy a house. So, okay. All right. So let's keep going here. All right. Corey, did I answer your question about where to stay? Also, would love to say hi. Reach out. Let's see here. John, since we talked about this, I have not seen anything about it. So I'm gonna have to talk to my people, my friends at like the chamber and stuff like that to see if that information has come out yet. Agreed. Embassy has an awesome breakfast. Can't go wrong there. Oh, this is a good question. Okay, so as far as like do these things cost money? No, they don't. Usually they're just community parks that are open to the public, and you can get in without a problem because they're outdoor. So now, if I'm wrong on that, don't hold me to this, but I'm 99.9% sure that it is free. Just like there's a park here in Travelers Rest. It's free. So bring your bike, go out. All right, cool. Corey, Tesla. No, I don't think it's Tesla. But I do think that I don't know. I don't think it's Tesla. It could be because they're building a battery plant as well in the Fountain Inn Lawrence area. So I don't know if they would put them in different spots because BMW, Michelin, like those automotive type, we do know that it's going to be automotive. So yeah, I don't know. If it's Tesla, that would be kind of cool because there are a lot of Teslas here. And in Travelers Rest even, they've made fun, they being the community, made fun of TR for buying the electric vehicles. So they started out with Teslas. Now they have Ford Mach-E's. And yes, that is what I drive. So I am partial to that type of vehicle. But I don't know, having an electric car manufacturer here in the Upstate would be fantastic because I'm a fan. I understand needing a gas-powered vehicle though, so we do have one. It's important. But opinions, okay? All right, let's see here. Aw, love you too. Oh, yes. Yes. Cannot wait for all these things. All right, Paul, you have a good question here. DSP to bring back direct flights to and from Rochester. We did this last summer. It was convenient and it was packed both ways. Yes. I can't tell you how many people we have actually helped, and it goes in spurts. Like I think it was this past year, maybe it was 23. No, it's 2024. I helped 3 different people move from Buffalo, New York at the same time, and they didn't know each other. So I was like, well, hey, here's your friends that is moving here from Buffalo. He's a chiropractor. And this person's moving from Buffalo, and they, have a bank job downtown, and it was just kind of fun. So yeah, I wish they would bring back more of those direct flights because it makes sense. So yeah, and if they're not completely I don't know, direct flights, it's not terrible. They usually stop you over in Charlotte or Atlanta for 30 minutes. So let's see here. Oh, yes. Man, you keeping me accountable here. Yes. So this is one of my goals, is to get my North Carolina license. So that way, for you guys that aren't sure if you want to be in Asheville or like the Greenville upstate area, Asheville, Hendersonville, those areas, I want to be able to cross the state line and still help you. So yes, that is still a thing. But North Carolina is a beast as far as getting licensed and their contracts. It's so different from South Carolina real estate. Absolutely. All right. Any other questions before we wrap up for the night? I know a lot of you guys watch on your TVs too. So if you think about it later, shoot me an email or comment on the video on the replay and I'll see it there. So anyways, okay, guys. Well, if that's all we got here, then what I'll do is, again, next week won't be here because my brokerage has an award ceremony. But the week after we'll be back. It'll be the first week of February. The first month of January is all of 2025 is already gone. It's gone by so fast, but wow, before you know it, we'll be like all the way through the spring. Who knows? So, all right, y'all. Well, it's been good. I will chat with you same time, same place next week or 2 weeks from now on Thursday, 8:00. Tell your friends, subscribe to the channel because hit the little bell so that you get the notifications so you can actually catch the live stream or when we put up new videos on Sundays. So, all right, y'all. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.